Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. So today we are going to continue with our chapter 7. Inshallah we are going to cover on the 7.3 and also 7.4 today. Okay, so let's have a look at the learning outcome for 7.3 first. So for 7.3, we are going to be learning about the physical properties of carboxylic acids. So macam biasa, we are going to cover onto the boiling points and also the solubility of carboxylic acid. So in terms of boiling point, so kita akan tengok ada dua benda lah. Ada yang kita compare sesama carboxylic acid sahaja, so within the successive members, and then the other one adalah bila kita compare dengan alkohol. So dekat sini ada term baru yang kamu belajar lah. Okay, so dekat sini kita akan belajar pasal dimerization effect ni nanti. Okay, and then kita akan tengok pula in terms of solubility of carboxylic acid in water. Okay, so benda ni pun very similar to the one that you have learned in alcohol. So hopefully, okay, mungkin most probably dia macam revision je untuk alkohol sebenarnya, tapi kita apply kepada carboxylic acid. Okay, so let's have a look at the boiling point first. So within successive members dahulu. So within successive members bermaksud that differs in the number of carbon lah. So bila kita cakap pasal carbon, bermaksud macam biasa boiling point always kena relate balik dengan intermolecular forces. So if we are comparing pasal carbon, therefore kita akan relatekan specifically with van der Waals forces between the molecule. Okay, so the boiling point of the carboxylic acid, it increases, okay, as the number of carbon atom increases. So kamu dah patut tahu dah apa point ni sebenarnya, because if the carboxylic acid, it has a lower number of carbon, meaning they have a smaller surface area. Kita akan relate dengan surface area lah, okay, compared to the one that has a higher number of carbon. So higher number of carbon pula meaning it has a larger surface area. Okay, so what happened is for the one that has a smaller surface area, the smaller size, meaning they have a weaker van der Waals forces. So if they have a weaker van der Waals forces, meaning the energy needed to separate the two molecules will be less lah. Otak miss buffering, lambat sikit. Okay, so kuranglah energi yang diperlukan. Okay, so kalau kurang energi bermaksud boiling point jadi macam mana tu? So boiling point for carboxylic acid with lower number of carbon is lower. Okay, so points kat sini sama je lah, pasal number of carbon, pasal surface area, and then pasal van der Waals forces, and then kita relatekan dengan boiling point. Okay, and then kita terus compare dengan alkohol pula. So what about alcohol? Okay, so alcohol adalah a polar compound, isn't it? And then specifically pula dia boleh form hydrogen bond between the molecule. So selain daripada dia boleh form van der Waals forces, tapi dia ada a stronger intermolecular forces between the molecule, which is hydrogen bond. So what about kita punya carboxylic acid? Okay, so untuk carboxylic acid pula, apa dia punya ciri-ciri carboxylic acid pula? Okay, so boiling point of carboxylic acid is higher. Okay, you need to know that boiling point of carboxylic acid is higher compared to alcohol. Tapi dia akan compare the one that with molecular mass that almost similar lah. Okay, dia tak akan compare yang carbon sama carbon macam tu. Maksud miss, kita tak akan compare propanol dengan propanoic acid because they don't have a similar molecular weight. Kamu boleh kira sendiri. Kalau kamu macam kenapa pula molecular weight dia tak sama, kiralah sendiri, tengok. Okay, tapi nanti kita akan comparekan yang alcohol dengan carboxylic acid that has a similar molecular weight. Okay, nanti kita tengok example dia. Okay, so it often exists. So carboxylic acid ni, it often exists as stable dimers. So dimers ni something new kat sini. Pasti kita tengok as a stable dimers that form two hydrogen bond. Okay, so dimers ni adalah bila molekul carboxylic acid ni, okay, satu molekul carboxylic acid dengan another molecule of carboxylic acid, diorang boleh form dua hydrogen bond sesama diorang antara dua molekul. Okay, dia boleh form dua hydrogen bond. Ya Allah, lambatnya otak mi semalam ni. Okay, so itu adalah antara dua carboxylic acid. Sebab kalau kamu try tengok balik untuk alkohol, so antara satu alkohol kepada satu alkohol, dia cuma boleh form satu je hydrogen bond dia boleh form antara dua molekul. Tapi kalau antara dua carboxylic acid, dia boleh form dua hydrogen bond. Okay, so bila boleh form hydrogen bond kat sini, bermaksud carboxylic acid is actually a polar molecule lah. Okay, because they have different in polarity. Kan ada carbon, ada oxygen kan. So ada differ in polarity kat situ. So dia adalah polar compound juga. Sebab tu dia boleh form hydrogen bond. Okay, and specifically this particular phenomenon here whereby antara dua molekul carboxylic acid tadi yang boleh form dua hydrogen bond in between, itu dipanggil sebagai dimers. Okay, pasti kita tengok macam mana rupa dimers ni sebenarnya. Jadi, dimers ni adalah merupakan struktur yang agak stable lah. Okay, di bermaksud dua mers part, kan? So, two parts together menghasilkan two hydrogen bond. Okay, so disebabkan ada dimers ni, so molecules in dimers, they are arranged closely packed. Bermaksud lagi rapat. Okay, so bila dia lagi rapat, bermaksud senang tak kita nak pisahkan dia? Susah. Okay, so since the arrangement are closely packed to one another antara dua molekul tu tadi, bila dia membentuk dimers, therefore the hydrogen bonds are relatively strong compared to dua molekul macam alkohol tu tadi, tapi boleh form satu je hydrogen bond. Lepas ni Miss lukislah untuk compare dengan dimers tu. Okay, kejap Okay, and then since the hydrogen bonds are relatively stronger in a dimers, therefore more energy is needed to separate the molecule. Okay, so that is why despite dua-dua carboxylic acid and also alcohol boleh form hydrogen bond, but then carboxylic acid has a higher boiling point due to it. Dia boleh form a stable hydrogen bond compared to alcohol. Okay, lepas ni kita tengoklah. Okay, so macam mana rupa diamond? Nina. Yang ni. Okay, so as you can see, this is one carboxylic molecule. RCOOH, kan? Ini adalah satu carboxylic molecule. Meanwhile, ini pula another carboxylic molecule. So, bahagian yang carbonyl ni, C double bond O ni, so this particular oxygen here, dia form hydrogen bond dengan hydrogen daripada bahagian yang OH. Okay. Meanwhile, OH yang ke atas ni pula, H ni, dia form hydrogen bond dengan oxygen yang datang daripada yang bahagian carbonyl of the other molecule. So that is why dia boleh form hydrogen bond kat sini. Okay, so ini dipanggil sebagai hydrogen bond lah. Okay, sepatutnya ada muncul ni Okay, so this is what we call as the dimerization effect of carboxylic acid. Kalau kita compare dengan alkohol, okay, so kalau alkohol pula, alkohol is just ROH, kan? Okay, so with another alcohol punya molecule, okay, so basically, sorry kamu ambil lah dash ni, bahagian dash ni So ini adalah antara dua molekul of alcohol. So as you can see, there's only one hydrogen bond that can be formed between two molecule of alcohol. Okay, compared to kalau kita tengok untuk carboxylic acid boleh form dua hydrogen bond between two molecules of carboxylic acid. Meanwhile, alcohol pula, there's only one hydrogen bond that can be formed between two molecule of alcohol. Okay, so disebabkan dimerization effect ni, so carboxylic acid has a stronger hydrogen bond between them. Okay, so the polar nature of the carboxyl groups and its stability to form hydrogen bonds with other carboxyl group give the carboxylic acid relatively high boiling point. Okay, so setelah untuk kita punya alkohol dengan carboxylic acid. So kita tak ada comparison antara carboxylic acid dengan alkane, tapi I suppose you should know lah, comparison antara carboxylic acid dengan alkane should be the same macam kamu compare dengan alkohol dengan alkane. Sebab carboxylic acid ada hydrogen bond, alkane pula dia cuma ada van der Waals forces. So mana lagi kuat? Hydrogen bond lagi kuat. Nah, buat je comparison antara dua tu. Tapi most probably mungkin tak adalah diberi yang tu. Okay. Tapi contoh yang Miss bagi kat sini, Miss bagi kamu ketiga-tiga. Miss bagi kamu alkane, Miss bagi kamu alcohol, and Miss bagi kamu juga carboxylic acid. Okay, so the molar mass of several organic molecules are shown as below. So you are given 3 different molecules here with different classes of compound. One is alkane, this is alcohol, and this is carboxylic acid. But as you can see, the molar mass of all of these 3 molecules here, they are similar to one another, whereby the alkane is 72 gram per mole, 1-butanol is 74, propanoic acid is 74. Okay, pentane ni yang ada 5 carbon kan, 1-butanol yang ada 4 carbon, propanoic pula ada 3 carbon. So despite having a different number of carbon, but then the molar mass is similar lah. Kenapa? Sebab kita punya alkohol dengan propanoic acid ni dia ada oksigen kan, compared to alkane. Sebab tu dia punya molar mass dia berbeza. Okay, so apa soalan dia kat sini? So soalan dia adalah, you are asked to arrange these organic molecules in order of increasing boiling point, and then you need to explain your answer. Okay, so dekat sini Miss just bagi points dia sahajalah. So basically the answer is pentane lower than 1-butanol, 1-butanol lower than propanoic acid. Okay, so kenapa? Apa reason dia? So pentane has the lowest boiling point because it is an alkane, therefore it only exhibit so it is a non-polar molecule, and therefore it only exhibit the London forces, ataupun if you want to say exhibit van der Waals forces pun boleh, weak van der Waals forces. So that is why it has the lowest boiling point. Okay, meanwhile, what about 1-butanol? So 1-butanol pula, yang ni depends, kamu nak kena compare dengan pentane kah, kamu nak compare dengan carboxylic acid, it's up to you. Okay, so untuk 1-butanol, it can form hydrogen bond between molecules. Therefore, it has a higher intermolecular forces. It has a stronger intermolecular forces, so it has a higher boiling point compared to pentane. Itu kalau kamu nak compare dengan pentane. Okay, so kita guna point yang dia boleh form hydrogen bond ni. But then, kenapa pula 1-butanol ni has a lower boiling point compared to propanoic acid? So apa propanoic acid ni ada? So propanoic acid is also a polar molecule. Dia pun boleh form hydrogen bond. But then propanoic acid, it has the highest boiling point because it can form a stable, tambah perkataan stable, and tambah perkataan dimers dekat belakang hydrogen bond ni. Okay, so because it can form a stable hydrogen bond dimers between the molecule, therefore it has the highest boiling point. Okay, so despite dua-dua, abaikan the alkane sekejap. So despite dua-dua kita punya alkohol dengan kita punya propanoic acid ni, dua-dua boleh form hydrogen bond. Beza dia adalah the carboxylic acid, it can form stable hydrogen bond dimers. That's it. Okay, itu je explanation dia kalau kamu nak kena compare antara dua tu. Okay, so we're done with the boiling point. Tapi kat sini Miss bagi kamu ada satu extra. Ini tak ada pun dalam kamu punya apa tadi? Learning outcome. Tapi Miss just bagi je. Okay, so what if kita diberi carboxylic acid, but then they have different number of carboxyl group. Okay, so the boiling point of the carboxylic acid increases as the number of carboxyl group increase. Okay, so kenapa? So why? Sebab same concept with alcohol. Lagi banyak hydroxyl group ataupun lagi banyak carboxyl group, meaning you can form more hydrogen bond. Okay, so carboxylic acid with higher number of carboxyl can form a more stable hydrogen bond dimers. Okay, compared to the carboxylic acid with lower number of carboxyl group. So that is why higher boiling point dekat situ. Okay, so this is just an extra lah, but I don't think it's sebab tak ada dalam syllabus. So rasanya tak keluarlah, tapi Miss just bagi je. Okay. Okay, so last kali kita tengok kepada solubility. So since you know that carboxylic acid can form hydrogen bond between the molecule, so do you think carboxylic acid can form hydrogen bond with water as well? Of course dia boleh. Okay, so kamu try lah kalau ada cuka kat bilik. Untuk apa kamu ada cuka kat bilik, Miss pun tak tahu. Unless some of you actually amalkan ambil apple cider kan. Ada apple cider is a good untuk apa, Miss tak tahu dia bagus untuk apa, tapi ada orang dia ambil daily lah benda tu, apple cider tu. So cuka apple, so boleh try lah cuka apple dengan air. Adakah kamu nampak 2 layer solution? Tak. Okay, tak ada 2 layer tu. Okay, you will see a uniform solution, menunjukkan dia mix well lah. Okay, meaning the vinegar is soluble in water kat sini. Bermaksud menunjukkan dia boleh form hydrogen bond. Okay. So, carboxylic acid are soluble in water due to the formation of hydrogen bond between the water molecules and carboxylic acid. So, sama macam alkohol sebenarnya. So, kalau kita tengok sini, so ini adalah carboxylic acid, ini adalah water, ini carboxylic acid. So dia boleh form lah hydrogen bond kat sini. Miss tak tahu kenapa kat sini tak ada, tapi sini sepatutnya ada juga. Sini pun ada juga dash ni. Miss lukis lah. Okay, so semua yang dash ni itu adalah hydrogen bond. Okay, so termasuklah yang Miss lukis tadi, itu hydrogen bond juga. Okay, so what if you need to compare between 2 molecules of carboxylic acid? So siapa yang lagi soluble, siapa yang tak? Okay, so dekat sini kita nak guna konsep apa? So dekat sini kita akan guna konsep yang hydrophobic area. What is hydrophobic area? Hydrophobic area adalah bahagian yang takut air. So bahagian mana yang takut air? So bahagian mana yang takut air kelas dalam carboxylic acid ni? Okay, so the solubility of carboxylic acid in water is almost the same as alcohol. Okay, so kita takkan compare solubility alcohol dengan carboxylic acid lah, tak. Okay, so if you are to compare the solubility, selalunya antara alkohol dengan alkohol kamu akan compare, carboxylic acid dengan carboxylic acid kamu akan compare. Okay, apa ni tadi? Okay, so aliphatic carboxylic acid with carbon that is higher than 5, they are insoluble in water. Kenapa? Kenapa lagi banyak carbon lagi insoluble? Sebab carbon tu sebenarnya yang bahagian takut air. Okay, the alkyl group. Okay, the R part. So the size of the alkyl group, kalau dia lagi besar, meaning the hydrophobic area lagi besar. Okay, so this part of the carboxylic acid is the hydrophobic area, and then the COOH, the carboxyl group itself, is the hydrophilic area, the one yang boleh form hydrogen bond dengan water. So that's why dia adalah hydrophilic area. So if this alkyl group here panjang, banyak carbon dia, so takkah bahagian hydrophobic area lagi besar? So bila hydrophobic area lagi besar, bermaksud it become less soluble in water. Okay, sebab yang bahagian takut air lagi besar. So susahlah dia nak soluble. Tapi kalau bahagian ni kecil, bermaksud 4 carbon ke bawah, so usually dia adalah soluble in water. Okay, and then basically class, if lagi banyak carboxylic acid, carboxyl group, so kalau dicarboxylic acid ni kan, so lagi banyak carboxyl group, bermaksud lagi soluble lah, because more hydrogen bond can be formed. Okay. So example, I think example untuk kita punya solubility. So arrange the following compounds in descending order of solubility. Descending order bermaksud kita kena cari yang paling tinggi solubility pergi kepada yang paling rendah solubility. So this is A, and then this is B, and then this is C. Okay, so apa first thing kita nak tengok kat sini? Okay, first thing yang kita kena tengok adalah number of carboxyl group. Okay, so kat sini kalau lagi banyak, lagi soluble. Okay, tapi if number of carboxyl group dia sama banyak, and then barulah kita pergi kepada the second one. What is it? That is number of carbon. Okay, so kalau lagi banyak carbon pula, bermaksud lagi besar hydrophobic area, bermaksud lagi soluble ke tidak? No, dia jadi less soluble then. Okay, so sekarang ni kita tengoklah A, B, C. So A ada 2 carboxyl group. B pula, B ada 1 carboxyl group. C pun ada 1 carboxyl group. Bermaksud A, automatically A menang. Okay, so A kat sini dia adalah highest solubility. Kenapa? Because it has more carboxyl group. Okay, therefore more hydrogen bond can be formed. Okay, and then kita nak compare pula antara B dengan C pula. So B pula adalah compound. Kita fokus on the alkyl group now lah. Okay, so abaikan C yang dekat COOH, abaikan je. Kita tengok bahagian ni saja. So dekat sini, tak apalah, kita include lah semua. Lang kira je semua. Okay, so untuk B ada 4 carbon. Meanwhile, untuk C pula ada 5 carbon. Okay, so in this case, lagi banyak carbon, lagi soluble ke tidak? Lagi banyak bermaksud lagi kurang soluble. So C pula lowest solubility. Why? Because it has more carbon. So since it has more carbon, meaning the hydrophobic area becomes larger. Okay, so since soalan ni dia just minta arrange sahaja, there is no need for you to explain lah. Therefore the answer is A is higher than B, where B is higher than C in this case. Okay, so now let's just summarize the physical properties of carboxylic acid that we have learned just now. Okay, so the first one adalah kita compare within successive members kan. So within successive members, ini adalah untuk boiling point . Okay, so first point yang kita kena tengok kat sini adalah pasal number of carbon. Okay, and then second point pula kita akan tengok pasal surface area. Okay, and then lepas surface area pula kita tengok in terms of strength of van der Waals forces between the molecules, and then barulah kita relatekan dengan boiling point. Jadi apa yang kita boleh cakap kat sini, the higher the number of carbon, bermaksud the surface area becomes larger, so the strength of the van der Waals forces becomes stronger, so the boiling point pun akan jadi lagi tinggi because we need more energy to separate the molecule. Okay, and then lagi-lagi kita ada yang nombor 2 tadi. Okay, so kat sini kalau kamu nak kena bagi contoh, example dia adalah, let's say you have ethanoic acid dengan butanoic acid. So which one has a stronger boiling point? Butanoic acid dan. Okay, sebab butanoic acid ada 4 carbon, ethanoic acid cuma ada 2. Okay, so second one pula yang kita tengok tadi adalah comparison with alcohol. Okay, so kalau comparison of alcohol ni, so kalau apa yang kamu kena ingat adalah memang carboxylic acid has higher boiling point than alcohol lah. Okay, memang tak ada reason lain pun nak cakap kat sini. Okay, so kenapa? So this is due to the stable hydrogen bond dimers in carboxylic acid. Okay, so sebab carboxylic acid can form a stable hydrogen bond dimers, so more energy is needed to separate the molecule then. Okay, so yang ni je lah untuk kita punya boiling point. Okay, so kalau tengok contoh kan, so kalau contoh, mana nak tengok contoh kat sini, memang carboxylic acid je lah menang. Okay, so abaikanlah yang tu. Okay, jadi ini adalah kalau untuk apa ni tadi, pasal apa? Boiling point. Okay, and then kalau kita tengok pula untuk solubility. Okay, so kalau solubility pula, so you just need to compare the number of carbon. Okay, number of carbon, and then kita cakap pasal hydrophobic area. So lepas cakap pasal hydrophobic area, and then kita just cakap pasal solubility in water lah. Okay, so basically if the number of carbon increases, okay, number of carbon increases, bermaksud the hydrophobic area also increases, what happened to the solubility in water, dan dia akan jadi mengurang. Okay, so ini untuk solubility. So for example, kalau antara ethanoic, so kita ambil lagi sekali example yang ethanoic acid tu tadi kan. So example kat sini, kalau ethanoic acid dengan butanoic acid. Okay, walaupun sebenarnya dua-dua adalah basically soluble in water, but siapa yang lagi soluble? It will be ethanoic acid. So ethanoic acid has a higher solubility in water because it has less carbon. Less carbon bermaksud the hydrophobic area is smaller. So that's why it's more soluble in water lah compared to butanoic acid. Okay, alright. So we're done with 7.3. So let's go into 7.4 now. Okay. Okay, so by the end of this lesson untuk 7.4, the preparation of carboxylic acid, you should be able to explain the preparation of through the oxidation of primary alcohols and also aldehydes. So you have basically learned this before, therefore notes memang takkan panjang lah. Miss akan just buat revision sahaja bahagian ni, okay, because you can check out the notes in alcohol sebenarnya. Dekat alcohol tu Miss rasa dua-dua ni boleh tengok, specifically dekat bahagian oxidation of primary alcohol. Okay, tolong tengok bahagian oxidation of primary alcohol. So let's revise on the oxidation part now. Okay, so how do we prepare the carboxylic acid? Okay, so basically in order for you to prepare the carboxylic acid, it is through the oxidation of apa tadi? Oxidation of specifically primary alcohol. Okay, and also daripada kita punya aldehyde. Okay, daripada keton boleh kah? No, tak boleh. Kenapa tak boleh nak oxidize keton? Keton boleh oxidize kah? Tengok balik chapter 6 kan. Apa yang tak ada dekat keton tu menyebabkan keton tak boleh nak oxidize. Okay, so tengok balik yang tu. So we can only prepare carboxylic acid from the primary alcohol and also aldehyde. Okay, so kalau kita tengok secara generalnya, primary alcohol punya apa ni? General formula kan. Okay, so this is primary alcohol. So oxidation of alcohol is always about removing 2 hydrogen class. Daripada mana kita nak remove 2 hydrogen tu? Daripada carbonyl carbon. So itu satu hydrogen, satu lagi adalah daripada hydroxyl group itself. Okay, and then how do we oxidize? Okay, so primary alcohol kena be careful sikit. Primary alcohol ni, bila kita guna different strength of oxidizing agent, it will give you a different product. So in order for us to specifically to produce carboxylic acid, kita kena guna a strong oxidizing agent. Okay, so for example, kita guna KMnO4 lah. Okay, so it has to be in acidic reagent kan, and then kena ada heat juga. Okay, so apa yang berlaku adalah kita akan form, cara Miss tulis dekat general tu tak best sangat. So yang tinggal adalah double bond O, okay, dengan O saja kan, dengan satu H kat situ, okay, tapi disebabkan ada H, okay, and then Miss guna pula strong oxidizing agent kat sini, okay, Despite kita guna strong oxidizing agent kan. So H yang tinggal ni, apa yang berlaku adalah kita tambah pula oksigen kat situ. Okay. So that is why kita akan dapat carboxylic acid. So this is the primary alcohol. And then ini pula adalah carboxylic acid. Okay, and then so let's say kita ada pula aldehyde, class aldehyde. So aldehyde pula, aldehyde, so C double bond O H. Okay, so aldehyde pun kita boleh prepare juga carboxylic acid. Okay, so macam mana kita nak prepare carboxylic acid ni? Apa yang kita nak guna kat sini? Oxidizing agentnya macam mana? Kita kena guna a strong oxidizing agent juga kat sini. So Miss bagi contoh lain lah. So selain daripada KMNO4, kita ada juga K2CR2O7 kan, potassium dichromate. This one is also in acidic reagent, and then kena guna ada heat juga. Okay, so you will get carboxylic acid. Okay, ingat tak tadi Miss cakap yang kalau primary alcohol ni with different types of oxidizing agent, it will give you a different product kan. Sebab kalau kita guna a mild oxidizing agent daripada alkohol ni, kita akan produce apa? Kita akan produce aldehyde. Guna apa ni? Guna PCC. PCC in apa? PCC in CH2Cl2. Okay. So kat situ kita akan produce aldehyde lah. Macam dah nampak kan? Macam okay, kalau kita guna a mild oxidizing agent, you will produce aldehyde lah. Okay, but if you use a strong oxidizing agent, you will straight away produce the carboxylic acid. Okay, this is the case bila untuk alcohol. Okay, alcohol ni, primary alcohol ni with a different strength of oxidizing agent, it will give you two different product. Okay, tapi daripada primary alcohol dengan daripada aldehyde, kalau kamu guna a strong oxidizing agent, memang dua-dua akan dapat hasilkan terus carboxylic acid. Okay, jadi now your turn to try question. So Miss tak bagi example. Benda tu boleh tengok balik nota yang lama. So Miss terus bagi kamu soalan and you can try this. Okay. Okay, so this is to try this question that you need to try. So draw and give the IUPAC name for compound A to C. So soalan satu ni ada structure A, soalan dua ada B, dan soalan tiga ada C. So I think number 1 and 2 ni agak straightforward. Tapi untuk 3 ni, you need to do some analyzation first. Wow, some analyzation you need to do some analysis first. You need to analyze first the question. Ya Allah, mana datang kata analyzation. You need to analyze first the question for you to be able to identify what is C. Okay. Lepas tu okay, so kamu carilah C, dan jangan lupa bagi nama sekali. Okay, give the IUPAC name for compound A to C sekali juga. Okay, so alright, itu sahaja kelas. Settle dah.